I grew up in the Virgin Islands on the island of St. Croix. My brother went to school at New Mexico State back at the time that Mary Jo Pepler and Marilyn McCreevy were running the pseudo national team out of there. And he played on a men's club team, so they practiced against the women. So he picked up some pretty good fundamentals, came back home, lived in St. Croix for a little bit after graduation. And that was my introduction into volleyball. I went into college at Bethany College up in West Virginia because I wanted to try to play football. And after about 6 weeks of that, I realized it wasn't gonna be for me. So the volleyball team was starting up and it was coached by the women's softball coach. And I just kind of asked if I could help out. And I stayed at Bethany for a year, and then I transferred to the University of Tampa, and I did it again. I just volunteered to be a student grunt, and then graduated in '83 from the University of Tampa, and the job opened up here. And I wasn't qualified. I knew that. Met with the athletic director and just said I would do whatever it takes. And so he gave me the job with the caveat that I had to coach men's and women's tennis. And there was one other category, number 8 on my contract, that said do whatever else I expect you to do. And boy, those first, 20 years, I still feel like I'm catching up because I just didn't have that foundation that everybody else had. I didn't work for somebody. I think my early success was a combination of blind luck and then my passion and energy kind of came out. I didn't really understand how I was successful because I had a couple of years in there where I wasn't. I didn't know how to fix it. So I took a little while of searching myself, and I ended up mimicking and trying to coach like other coaches and realized that wasn't going to work. Went back to being myself. And then I think my real success happened after I was able to add assistant coaches. I had Jeff Revis working for me early on. Then I was able to hire Jeff Lamb, who was my longtime assistant. He's been with me for 20 years. And we had a long run of 10, 12 years of winning our conference. And then we broke through in 2006 and realized what we were doing worked. Jeff then had a family and decided to back away briefly. So I hired Brian Imperial, and I allowed Jeff to run the offense and Brian to run the defense. I got to a point where I was comfortable enough where I could allow someone else to be in charge at times. The university has also been amazing. Our facilities are tremendous. Our athletic director, Larry Murphy, has allowed me to kind of run our own business. My first real mentor was actually Ari Sellinger. We brought him in here in 1985, and it was like a college course. He didn't go back to his hotel at night. He said, hey, get some pizza. We'll just hang out. And then I had a couple after, like Jim Imes, who was at Georgia. He'd worked with the national team at one point. And then, I spent time just studying coaches that I see them do things well, and I try to adopt those. Like all of us, I just lived my job. Then the kids and wife and kids came along, and then I got more efficient. I thank my wife for the many sacrifices she made. Our kids are healthy and psychologically healthy as well. They're not ruined by it. The last time I looked was 1995. I was at Virginia. At the time, they were paying what I was being paid here at Tampa. They didn't have the summer camp opportunities. I was coaching club at the time, and literally I would drive to club practice going, I'm going. And on the way back from club practice, I'm not. And it went on for 5 days like that. Finally, I just said, I can't do it, and I didn't. Shortly after that, we had an athletic director from Auburn University, Hyman Wall. I approached him shortly after the Auburn job opened, and he said, I'll get you all the way up to the AD, but I promise you it's not a better situation. If you're at the top of Division II, it's a good life. If you're at the bottom of Division I, you have more money than that top of Division II, but it's a rough life. I think Division I all the way down to parts of Division II, I think salaries have obviously just jumped, but with that has come, the pressure of being successful. The athletes have changed a ton in the sense of how impressive they are. They're faster, stronger, bigger, and I think they're still the same people we coached years ago, but we have social media to deal with now, and they leave practice, they're calling home, they're getting the stuff from mom and dad, and I guess those are a few of the things I think have changed. But it is still, and I think it still remains one of those great sports where we share a lot, and people are willing to share their ideas and teach. And I've always loved that about it.